Okay. Your Excellencies, dear guests, dear Romanian investors, dear international investors, we have today the opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister of Moldova, Mr. Dorin Recean. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for being with us today. Welcome home. Romania, it's your home as well. We are in the same home, the European home, and sooner or later you'll be a member of European Union. So today we'll discuss a couple of topics, and I will start with the EU accession topic. And basically, the discussions about the EU accession of Moldova started many years ago, but lately the process gained speed, and Moldova applied for the EU membership in March 2022 and was granted EU candidate status in June 2022. There was a European summit held in Moldova in June 2023, and in December 2023, the EU leaders decided to open accession negotiation of Moldova. And I will ask the Prime Minister, how engaged is your government and Moldova on the road to joining the EU?
Thank you very much for this very warm welcome. I'd like to greet once again everybody in the room. I would like to thank the Bursa de la Bucuresti for this organization, but also everybody else, also the Moldovan champions that are here and also participating in this project. Our strategic objective is to become a member of the European Union, and this means that all resources, all attention is done to that. I mean, we're looking also into a kind of what we call all corporate culture of the government of Moldova, that whatever we do for increasing the prosperity of Moldovan people, of creating opportunities for the Moldovan businesses, and correspondingly, this means EU integration. We have a very tough schedule to implement the acquis communautaire. We structured already our approach to these. In the same time, what we are having in mind is making sure that we consider the time and interests for the Moldovan businesses to properly adjust, to have the time and to have the resources necessary to adjust to the new regulations, to the new environment that is not unique, but uniform in the European Union. To say it in a few words, we allocate the necessary resources and the necessary attention to this very important process. In a way, we're lucky. Lucky because there are a number of very friendly countries that did it already. So correspondingly, we have a huge number of experts from various EU member states, but most of them are from here, from Bucharest, from Romania, to help us make this transition in a way that is fast, but in the same time is necessary for the business environment to make that transition.
Thank you. So, I understand, and I'm very happy that your government is quite committed on that. And basically, Moldova is already quite integrated in the EU. Most of the trade of Moldova is with the European Union. More than 80% of FDIs in Moldova are coming from the European Union. At the same time, 1/3 of the population has a double citizenship, Moldovan plus European. And I will ask you, do you think that the support of the population is very strong for this process? And do you think there is still a risk to see, let's say, the pro-Russian parties or Russian propaganda trying to change the direction of the country?
Thank you for this question. And obviously, as I mentioned, we are in a geopolitical context too. The political context is very favorable to us. And we, in a way, very quickly opened accession talks with the Commission and already working on that. From the other side, I'll give you a political perspective. The elections in of the president and 21st in the parliament and 23rd in the local elections demonstrated to us that, this geopolitical contest between West and East has been won finally by the West. So there is strong support of Moldovans for EU integration going toward West, because there is also a very simple narrative. We want to live like in EU, in Europe. And this strong narrative is more and more pervasive in the Moldovan population. Also, the government has a campaign of explaining to the people what EU integration means. So, and we will continue this effort, even though we have to admit that we are very much challenged by Russian propaganda, by the false narratives about EU integration from that part, by a number of political actors that are openly pro-Russian. But people of Moldova are European. People of Moldova feel European. And remember that with a population of 2.5 million, 1 million has Romanian citizenship.
Okay, thank you. I can confirm that I had many students from Moldova during the time, and they are strongly supporting the European integration process. So the young population in Moldova for sure are close to 100% in favor of the process. The next question will be on the challenges you will face on this journey. Where are the main challenges in your view on this process to access the European Union? In which fields do you feel that there will be strong challenges?
I must be honest, and obviously we have to further strengthen the administrative capacity of the government and of the institutions. We have to have strong, independent, and very important, resilient institutions without any chances for reversibility for policies. And this is what we need to build. Obviously, we have to insist further on the anti-corruption effort, on judicial system reform, because law enforcement or rule of law are fundamental for not only for the political structure, for the democracy, but very importantly for the people and for the economy. So these are the challenges that primarily we need to overcome. The other thing that we need to insist on is economic development, because in the end, people is looking into welfare, and correspondingly to maintain this enthusiasm of people about EU integration, but also of the administration. It is very important to progress steadily, to deliver prosperity, and correspondingly this means to enhance economic prospect and to develop the economy. What is very important for Moldova is productivity. So we have to allocate our resources not only in terms of the investment, but also in terms of the policies, is improving productivity. This is also very important for the future prospect of, closing the negotiations, because EU member countries don't want, a very weak economical country to come in. Moldova is a very small country; it can be easily assimilated. But when we speak to EU member states, they want a strong Moldova. And a strong Moldova means rule of law and economy.
Thank you. Yeah, you had good prerequisites, I would say. Our process in Romania started from a lower stage, I would say. The GDP per capita in Romania before the EU accession was lower than your GDP per capita these days. So we have a good starting point. But for sure, there will be important challenges. The rule of law, we improved a lot in terms of rule of law in Romania, but we are still challenged by different things. And probably, your road will be quite challenging as well. Going to the next topic, which is, I think, the elephant in the room, I would say, for all of us in the region, the geopolitical situation. I would ask you about how the current situation in Ukraine is affecting you in Moldova these days. And of course, I will ask you about the particular situation in Transnistria. How do you think that the situation in Transnistria will develop, and how will influence that your trajectory, your journey on the EU accession process?
If you allow me, I would start a little bit from, maybe one or two steps back. And first of all, I'd like for us to all appreciate the important breakthrough that Ukraine did back in 2023, because the current, grim sentiment about the region is also partially due to the fact that we did not properly appreciate what happened on the battlefield there. Most probably we were looking like in 2022 at the map, and then that red band was shrinking, in half. This did not happen in 2023 in the counteroffensive, and we got, I'd say depressed in some minds. But we most probably did not correctly appreciate the fact that the Black Sea is now free of most of the Russian threats. Yes, there are still launches from there, but the Black Sea is now much more secure for everyone around and is definitely dramatically weakened for Russia. This improved very much the security of Moldova. Now we have another, stage of, stress because of the elections in Europe, because of the elections in the United States. And probably sometimes it's difficult to look through the, through the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are still there. It's in the strategic interest of all the West to make sure that Ukraine wins. So regardless of the outcome of the elections, yes, the help for Ukraine may increase or decrease, not substantially, but to some extent, if the outcome is one or the other. But fundamentally, the strategic interest of the West, as I said, stays with Ukraine winning this war. Though this year it will be, back and forth. So we'll have to keep our nerves. Moldova, since the beginning of the war back in 2022, and back then I was security advisor and secretary of the Supreme Security Council in Moldova, and we succeeded very quickly to align Transnistria on our security and peace objectives, and they are there, aligned. And what we are doing tactically is integrating more and more the business into the European business, into the right bank business, but also the society, people accessing social services on the right bank of Dnistru. So please know that 2/3 of the trade of Transnistria is with, guess whom? European Union. And also quite a volume of trade is with Romania. You'd see a lot of people, business people from Transnistria here in Bucharest if you go around. So again, we see a clear trend of the businesses that are very much anchored into West. Now the government also acted on improving that trend, and what happens right now is that both right bank and left bank of the Dnistru River are orienting their business, both imports and exports, towards the countries with which Moldova has free trade. So this is already happening. And one very important moment here, Moldova is safe also energetically. So in a way, we practically solve the problem of energy security. What we are doing right now is solving the problem of energy economics and green energy, of course. And by the way, promoting green energy is also about energy economics. Once we will have commissioned in early 26 this Vulcanești-Chișinău high voltage line, we would have completely solved also the remaining part of energy security, but also importantly, Moldova will be able to be an important regional player on the electricity market in the region. So what I am trying to say is that, yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are Russian troops illegally stationed there, but their impact is minimal. And what we see is an increasing trend of the trade of Transnistria with Western Europe, and correspondingly, this is anchoring them into our strategic objectives.
Thank you. We'll move now to... We'll move now to the economic topic, and I will ask you, how would you characterize the current situation, economic situation of Moldova? I saw some numbers. The IT sector in Moldova, it's even larger than in Romania in terms of relative positioning, and probably some investors are not aware about that. How do you think your government can capitalize more on that? How the IT sector can help your economy to catch up faster in your journey towards the EU accession?
Thank you for mentioning the IT sector. I also mentioned it earlier today. This is a very strong sector. Moldova also has a very good development platform. We call it IT Park, where we have a flat tax of 7%, and then what you consider as net salary is the same as gross salary is the same as net salary. This is stimulating very much companies to come. We are also virtualizing this platform. Correspondingly, people from elsewhere can work in the IT park. We are now opening this opportunity for our diaspora that not necessarily wants to move back to Chișinău, back to Moldova right now, but they can still work in the IT park. And this opportunity is also very important from the perspective of the workforce, because that's one of the constraints. We improved a lot on the technical university. Correspondingly, we have now a very active institution that is preoccupied with educating IT sector. We have a very good collaboration between the IT sector and the universities, having laboratories to prepare the future workforce. The whole educational sector is moving toward, math engineering, correspondingly capitalizing on this opportunity. There are other opportunities as well in Moldova. Now that the inflation is back to normal, the banking sector has very good capitalization. We do have this maturity problem with the capital in Moldova. I mentioned it earlier, and this is why I'm very happy to have this event that is supposed to partially solve that problem. Correspondingly, there are a number of opportunities, like, for example, in the energy. So very soon, Moldova will announce a tender for about 150 megawatt of wind and solar. So we prepared these premises for the economy to develop. We went through a very difficult crisis because with the war in Ukraine, not only did the logistical chain broke, but also we were having high energy prices. So it was an increase of 7-fold on tariffs for gas and a 4-fold increase of tariffs on electricity. But nevertheless, we managed to absorb this external shock. we started to improve very much on budget execution so that we have the budget maintaining throughout this crisis the economy. And correspondingly, we will continue to assist the business to eliminate bureaucratic procedures, to digitize the relationship with the government, but also among businesses, and correspondingly to improve on the economy. We have had this problem of the logistical chains, because the transit from Ukraine was very much a strain on our infrastructure. Now, as I said, Ukraine achieved a breakthrough on the Black Sea, and correspondingly, most of the grain trades is now happening still through the Odessa port and then on the Black Sea. Now, these logistical chain strains have been waned off. So correspondingly, also there is also more infrastructure available for it. With the help, there is EBRD here, and earlier we have had the president of EBRD here speaking to us. We have a very good portfolio of investments in Moldova, with borrowing from EBRD and EIB, but also from the World Bank and other partners, as to stimulate the growth through the infrastructure projects that we are building.
Thank you. My last question will be on the capital market development. I saw that your banking sector is increasingly competitive and developing, but at the same time, you need to complement the access of companies to bank loans, with the access of companies to the equity and debt markets. How do you see the cooperation between the capital market of Moldova and Romania, and how do you think the both capital markets can develop in the coming years?
President Budiansky earlier mentioned that our capital market is weak, and we still have to build these instruments. Like Governor Drago said, that we have to also implement the Pilonul 3, how do you call it? The Pillar 3, and maybe the Pillar 2 at a later stage, in order to have, local capital. But until then, our aim is to interconnect the capital markets, and then assets in Moldova being accessible easily from Bucharest. And this is very important for us. This is a project that is not easy going. I must recognize all the institutions need to be prepared. Also, our effort to prepare the legal environment. We're doing that together with the National Bank, with the IMF, with the assistance of EBRD and other partners. We do strongly believe that there are very good assets in Moldova that need to be exposed to the international financial markets. Also, using international financial markets to finance projects in Moldova, for infrastructure, for example, for energy, for various public-private partnerships. So this is a very important for us. We are also seeing these through the possibilities for our companies in Moldova to expand. Yes, and we have Maib here. I think they cannot grow anymore in Moldova. So it's just that there is no more space in Moldova. So they are so big that they need to go somewhere. and I am looking at this opportunity, at this possibility to be integrated here as a way to expand in the way that we have Moldovan companies becoming regional. Once they have had the initiative, they worked hard days and nights, and at the moment that they seized the opportunity to come here to participate into the capital market, to take this capital and multiply it. So this is for us also a way for the companies in Chisinau to go outside outside Moldova. So we will be working hard to make sure this opportunity happens.
Thank you. Just in time with our discussion, but I will ask the audience for just one short question, if there is one. One last question from the audience. If somebody want to, please, just keep it short and, yeah.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for being here in Bucharest. Can you give us some details about the chip design company that you mentioned?
Yes, look, we have a very interesting company. This is our, how to say, national working for a company in Germany and in Switzerland, doing that there. And then he came to Chisinau and said, why don't I do that business here? And he partnered with the technical university. We have had a project assisted by the Swiss Development Fund, and correspondingly, he started the business with the companies that are doing components, automotive components, and then expanded the business of designing the chips, but also testing the chips for other industrial application, including for industrial equipment. And so this is how it went up in almost no time.
Thank you. So first of all, thank you, Prime Minister, and yeah, I wish you a good discussion in the next panels as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Yunus.